People, welcome back to Premzy TV. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea, and we had to have the preview with my guy Lewis. What you telling me, my bro? You good?
Yeah, man, good to be on. Good to make my debut on here. And yeah, worst of luck for the weekend.
Hey! You stop it now! You stop it now! Obviously, we've been having a back and forth Arsenal Chelsea on Saeed show and so on. But look, let's talk business because for Chelsea, this is an opportunity for you guys to really push on and start building a little bit of momentum now because I think it's 3 wins on a bounce. Obviously, one of them being in the Carabao Cup. So if you do beat Arsenal, I think people might start looking at you as a little bit different now because you gotta say it. We're a well respected team now, Lewis. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
no
man.
more
It's
banter
weird.
FC. You know what I'm
You
saying?
guys are the favourites in this fixture now. Back in my day, you'd be lucky to get a shot on target at the bridge. Now you got 3 on the bounce. I hate it.
Nah, I don't know about that. You get me? But I was watching Thierry Henry. You get me, fam? And in them days, we were doing bits.
I know.
So
I'm younger in it, so my older days are like a few years back. Back in the Diego Costa days and Eden Hazard. Those
to
were
be
when we
fair,
just get the
Diego Costa.
standard 2-0 wins, 3-1s at home. You guys have like one shot on target. It would just be easy. Like, I think you had one win in the 2010s, the Van Persie hat
Nah,
trick, 5-3.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that was that way at Stamford
Now
Bridge
it's
as
like a
well, weren't
man
it?
adjustment. One win in our last 7 in all competitions.
But you know what, Lewis? Yeah, I always banter and call you post-Roman bums, but I honestly believe, yeah, Roman Abramovich, he gives so much to Chelsea Football Club, and I think he had that fear factor around him, and he had that ruthlessness where coaches, players, people that are involved in the whole club, they had a serious respect for him. And I think this Bowley guy, since he's come in, this is just my opinion. I don't think people respect him that much. And you really have seen
I'd
a
agree with that.
demise of Chelsea, man. Like you really have seen a demise of Chelsea. But whilst we're on the topic, let me try to get a feel of what it's like around the club at the moment because last season, horrendous. You get me? I don't think anyone really expected Chelsea to drop off in that way. And this season, you're currently 11th. You've managed to get a few wins, two back-to-back wins in the Premier League, but it's still not all rosy. How's the feel factor around place at the moment?
I'd say optimistic. Like, if you asked us 3 weeks ago, it would be a completely different response. But getting a couple wins across the board and actually looking a bit convincing in patches of games has let us feel a bit optimistic. But again, we need a big performance in a big match if we want to really start believing in the team and believing we could genuinely get back into a top 4 race. For now, it's just like taking it a game at a time. We've got a very tough fixture list coming up, but there's no reason to be negative right now. We're playing good football. We're scoring more goals. We've got a good defensive record. Like, it's just caution. It's just caution. Like, I keep saying the word cautious optimism because that's what it is, really. I know exactly what we're facing. You guys, I wouldn't say you're as good going forward as you were last season, but you guys have got a bit better defensively and you're a lot more resilient. And that, to me, is harder to deal with than a team with a persistent attack. Like, last season at the Bridge, I always say that should have been a 1 or 2-0 Chelsea win if we took our chances earlier because we were defending well. And you guys had a much better attack at the time. Now, I feel a little bit more cautious coming into this game because if you score first, I think whoever scores first, really, the game's done. Like, I only see 1 goal in this game and maybe 2 if you're lucky.
Do you know what? Yeah, obviously there's a lot of banter going around, and rightly so because, like you said, for a good number of years, Chelsea were the dominant force in London, and we were in a bit of well, I would say a bit, but we were in a fucking mess, mate. You know what I mean? And we were too busy trying to challenge for fourth and missing out on fourth, and it was just a massive kerfuffle around Arsenal. So it does feel good as an Arsenal fan now, looking around at all the clubs in London and thinking, you know what, we're the best team about. And I don't think anyone can dispute that. And like you said, we are the favourites going into this game. And if we want to really push on for this title, if we want to build on the Manchester City victory, we have to be putting Chelsea to bed. And, you know, I think it's the last 3 games we've won at Stamford Bridge. So I'm not coming into this game fearful because when I do look at this Chelsea team, and I've mentioned to you before, I don't really see anybody in that team that I'm scared of. Anybody that I can see picking the ball up and just making something happen out of nothing. Is there anybody in your current team at the moment that you can see troubling Arsenal or where you can actually get at us, because defensively, not many teams have created against us, and you are still quite a young team and still quite raw.
That's the thing. Because it's an inexperienced side, I can't really put my hat on anybody and say they're definitely going to be the one to do it, but it's more just a one to watch. Actually, tell a lie. Because Cole Palmer's been so good in the limited time that I've seen him play, I could say watch out for him. Because he looks very composed for his age. I keep saying he looks like everything that we said Havertz was meant to be for 3 years. He already looks like a great passer. He's had a great link up with Nicholas Jackson. Composed finishing. He can beat a player if he needs to. I'd say if there's anyone to watch out for in the attack, it's him. But if Sterling can replicate the same form he had last game against Burnley, I'd watch out for him too. Jackson's, I'd say, is a good footballer, but he needs that clinical edge to him, and I need to just see that a little bit more from him before I really say he's going to be a threat up front. Gallagher's just going to be better when we're out of possession, to just chase the ball and to break up play, which I think, because you guys will dominate possession, I think that will actually be an asset for us. But in terms of going forward, it's only really Cole Palmer that I would say right now. Defensively, I back us defensively. I think Caicedo's been our best midfielder so far this season. Enzo, Gallagher, I need a little bit more consistency from them, but we all know Enzo's quality as well. Just needs to show it a bit more on a week in, week out basis. But yeah, it's a team with potential, really. All I can say is about what they can do on their day, but I need them to be up on their day on Saturday.
Do you know, obviously you touched on Caicedo there and Gallagher and Enzo. Obviously from the start of the season, it didn't really look like that midfield was clicking at all. Obviously you watch Chelsea a lot more than I do, and probably a lot more than most people that watch this channel, because it is basically an Arsenal-based channel. What are they clicking? And do you think that if we had a Partey, a Rice, Odegaard in the middle, do you think they'll be able to match that, or do you reckon Arsenal will overrun the midfield?
Yeah, the problem we had at the start of the season, we were playing Enzo as the 10, and we had Gallagher in the pivot with Caicedo, which is pointless. The whole point of bringing in Caicedo was to make both of them look good together. Now we've done that. The pair of them look better as a result. Even though I'd say Enzo wasn't at his best against Burnley, he was excellent with him against Fulham. Gallagher's improved. Again, needs a bit more consistency to his game, but again, because I think you guys are going to be dominating possession, we should be able to step toe-to-toe with them. I can't say we'll outmatch them. I think it's going to be a really tight case between both midfields, but Chelsea's midfield is solid. I think when it comes down to both our teams, it's only really the attack where I can outright say Arsenal are clear of us. Midfield, we have a good midfield. Defense, we've only conceded one more goal than you in the league so far. Maybe you could make the argument in goal, but I think Sanchez has been pretty good for us over the last few games. That's why I think it's going to be a much tighter game than people make it out to be. 1 or 2 goals come down to individual moments.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to blow you out the water and do what we've done against Bournemouth and win 4-0. I don't think that is going to be that kind of game, because Chelsea, Pochettino, they're going to have to really try to fight to build on what they've kind of done over the last few weeks or so. But I've said to you on the best of the rest yesterday as well, Lewis, that I don't really respect Chelsea at the moment. And that's not me being in a disrespectful manner saying that. It's just, when I have watched you, I'm not really being impressed. And you can say, yeah, with Arsenal, that we were better last season than what we were this season and what we have been. But the thing is, we're very efficient now. So against Manchester City, I haven't really seen us play that way against Manchester City. And we kind of done it with a lot of maturity and managed to get out the victory, something that we haven't done for many, many years against them. And I can see a bit of a mentality switch. I think Saliba in the back line is key.
I hate that I agree with you as well.
Yeah, it's mad. So the thing is, even though we're not seeing the free-flowing football, I think that is due to personnel as well, because Martinelli's been out for a little bit. Saka's now out. Jesus wasn't here from the start of the season. He's only kind of come back into the team. There has been a little bit of change. Declan Rice has had to settle into the midfield. And obviously your boy Havertz, you get me, bro. Man stung us with the signing of Havertz. You get me, 65
Thank you, by the way. Thank
Mad.
you so much.
It's mad. It's mad, bro. But it'll be crazy if he comes to Stamford Bridge and he puts one in the back of the net, bro. Because first game, Chelsea away,
Not here
shy
for that,
habits,
bro.
mad thing.
Do you know how many streams I'm getting cooked on? That's long. I can't be.
That isn't a Havertz shirt up there, is it? I could just see a H
No,
up there.
no. Please, let's not do that to Eden's name. Please, come on. But no, I actually agree with a lot of what you're saying, and that's why I'm saying we can't underestimate Arsenal at all, and we also need to make a statement today. Like, we haven't necessarily been that impressive this season. We've had statistically the easiest start to the season out of everybody. We got 5 points out of our first 5 games. Didn't score in 3 of them. Like, I get it. Even in the games that we've won, Fulham, excellent in the first half. To be honest, I'd say we were good in both games, but we took our foot off the gas a little bit in the second half and just took what we had. Burnley, we were awful until we got the own goal. That was a horrific performance. It was only Sterling and maybe a little Enzo Pinger here and there that was doing anything for us. So that's why this game is very important, because this game is going to set the tone for the next few matches for Chelsea. Our run is hideous. If we can come out of this game, I'm not saying I take a draw, but if we come out of this game, let's say it's a 1-1 draw, we've held our own against Arsenal, I'm going to think, cool, Brentford at home next. I think we've got a chance. I think we can take something in this game. You go into that game a bit more confident. Maybe you get a good result there. I'm going to Tottenham and Man City with at least a little bit of faith. And I think we can get something in those games too. If we get battered in this match, we go right back to square one. Right back to the same depressive position we were in 4 weeks ago. So this game is massive because, like, we have to win from a rival perspective, and also because we need to get points on the table. But we also just need to perform well. We need to show that we can step up against the teams that are contending for the league title, because this is where we want to be in a year or two's time. So we need to show that we can step up already. I can't hear this, I'll take a draw and everything, because I deeped this over the last few previews. You guys have been through like stage 4. You're in the stage 4 of the process, I'm guessing. I think that was the last one we heard. You've beaten us every step of the process. So we can't make excuses about it. Can't make excuses about, oh, it's Arsenal. It's all right if we don't get anything. No. You go there, you make a good performance of it, and you go and win. If you don't, we look at the reasons why, but don't bend over and show them too much respect. Do your job defensively and finish, because, like, we need to start performing at least consistently for 90 minutes once this season.
Do you know what, Lewis? Yeah, you touched on the run that you guys are going to have, yeah, and I think you're right. I think it is make or break, because I've got the list of fixtures here, yeah. You've got Arsenal, then Brentford, and Brentford ain't no easy touch. Yeah, they might not have Ivan Toney, but on the day Brentford could turn up. Obviously, you have an EFL Cup round of 16.
They're unbeaten at the Bridge in the league, which is even worse.
Madness. But look, Tottenham, City, Newcastle away, Brighton, United, and I'd even throw Everton away in there as a difficult fixture. So you got about
we don't like that fixture.
Bro, I fucking hate Everton away. I swear to God, yeah. Every time that they're shit, yeah, we should be beating them, we end up getting done over. So it is one of them situations where
it's a crap away into.
Yeah, man, I was there this season for the Everton game, and thank fuck we managed to get the result. But you now have a run of fixtures that will make or break you. Let me ask you, yeah, if Pochettino comes out by the end of them fixtures and he's maybe won 1 or 2 of them games, where are you going to stand on this guy? Do you think he's going to be the right guy to take Chelsea forward?
It all depends on context. Like, I can't just say if you get 4 points out of those 7 games, I'm going to be like, Poch out. It depends. Have we lost the games because Poch's crappy game management, which has happened before? If that's the case, then maybe. If we lose because we didn't take our chances, or it's because of individual mistakes and everything, then it wouldn't really be fair to say it was on Poch, because that run is hard enough for anybody. So look at the reasons for it. Like, what I like about this run is that it will show us who the key players are. It will show us who will step up and who we need to keep an eye on. Because regardless of how hard it is, that is the level. If you can't play at that level, then we need to have some uncomfortable conversations. So that's why I'm a bit optimistic about it. We'll learn a lot about Chelsea off this run. We've kind of been sleeping with the easier fixtures that we've had, which has already been a bit concerning. But now there's no time for that. Now it's going to be teams that will try to play games of football against us. So we'll see. We'll see. It truly depends on the games.
To be fair, you bang on, you're absolutely bang on, because ideally you want to be making the top 4 right about now, the position that you're in, and realistically comparing performances to the rest of the top 6 sides, I'd even probably say against West Ham, maybe Villa, Brighton. I don't think Chelsea's performances have been there. If you do want to make that top 4, you have to come out unscathed in this little period. And like you said, you will get to see who's the right kind of fit for the team, if the players have the mentality and the belief to kind of push on, because you have spent a lot of money now. You get me? I understand that you want to go with youth. I do look at the team and think you are lacking in experience in certain bits of the team. But now this is a good test for you guys. And for Arsenal, if we want to really maintain this title charge, we want to build on last season, we got to be beating Chelsea. And the reason I say that is because our away form has been fantastic this season. I think we've got the best away form so far this season. We've had 4 clean sheets this season as well. So we have actually improved on certain aspects from last season. I know everyone's looking at the scintillating football from Arsenal, and it hasn't kind of been there. But if we want to really just go with this flow of what Arteta's trying to create now, where obviously people are making excuses a lot from the Arsenal fan base for Arteta when we are playing shit or whatnot, trying to put it down to system. But I can actually see us playing a bit of a different style to what we did last season. And I do like it to a certain extent, because I've always asked for a plan B. And I always thought we're very one-dimensional. And when team finds us out, it is long for us. And if you want to win the title, you got to be resolute. You got to be able to grind out results when you need to. You got to be able to win comfortably, and you got to play. Sometimes you got to play some fantastic football as well. You got to have it all in your locker. So if we're getting to that stage of having all of them attributes, I can see Arsenal doing well this season. But if we now beat Chelsea, that would be City and Chelsea in a row. That would do massive confidence for the players, you get me? And I think it is key for us to do this, and we cannot afford to, even a draw for me is not good enough, because we can't afford to be slipping up now. I honestly believe, Tottenham will definitely slip up on points, but I think Man City, they enjoy chasing the person that's in front, and that's when they're the most dangerous, you get me? Now, they're after a 4-peat. Some people might say that their motivation isn't there because they won the treble, but I beg to differ. I think any team that has Pep Guardiola managing them, they will have motivation, because if the players in that team didn't have the motivation, he would just kick them out.
Motivation. It's just no Rodri if we really want to deep it.
Yeah, he's a massive loss to them. He is a massive loss, but we've been seeing City over a number of 10-year period, even when best players are out, when they've had Aguero's out and all these players out, they're still turning teams over. They're still going to the big grounds and winning. So it is now becoming a little bit different in a sense, because they've lost the likes of Mahrez, they've lost the likes of Gundogan, De Bruyne is out injured as well. Now they're really trying to have to dig in and put players in. We've seen Rico Lewis in the midfield against Arsenal. So he is trying to change things up. So with us, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. And I think Arteta's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders this season, Lewis. If we don't win anything, I'm not talking Premier League, Champions League, even if we don't win an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, best believe people that are being backing Arteta for the whole part of his reign at the moment, they will start asking questions, because you only have this wave. We touched on this yesterday. We only have a wave of where you're challenging probably Man City for 4 or 5 years, or it could be Arsenal, Liverpool. There's a little wave that comes. It's very rare you see a dominance like the period of Man City in this league. You got to capitalize. You got to go out there and make sure you win trophies in that period of time. But let's talk about predictions now, because I'm going to go first, yeah, and I'm going to go with 1-0 to Arsenal, and the famous 1-0 to the Arsenal 1-0. I'm just going to go with that, because I do think you've had a good defensive record this season. You haven't leaked many goals, and I don't think our attack has been as potent. But I can still see us finding a way to score a goal against you guys and breaking us down, where I can't really see you breaking us down, especially once we're away from home, because we play different. How do you stand with it?
I'd say 1-0 Chelsea, but I'm with you as well, where I just think one goal, whoever takes it just tries to slow down possession and they sit back a little bit. Just really hard to break down at that point. I'm going to say 1-0 Chelsea just because I hope we'll take our chances. But yeah, first goal wins. That's what this fixture is going to be.
First goal win. And you know what? We're so confident on this year. I guarantee you we'll end up watching the game and it's going to be 5-0 one way or another. It's going to be
God
mad. Well,
forbid.
it's mad. But Lewis, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on. Obviously, debut on the channel. We will try to get you on more. But people, Lewis's link will be in the description below and in the title. So make sure if you don't know who he is and you don't follow him, go and give him a subscribe. And also like this video, people. But we're out and let the best man win on Saturday. Peace and love. We'll see you on the next one.